There are many factions within Genshin Impact who are vying for either power or control. Celestia currently stands above all else, the Abyss wants to see them destroyed, and the Fatui are looking to wage a huge war regardless of its effects on the common people. Among these, however, is a group that is quietly sitting in the shadows, at least for now. A group that have some rather prominent members but has yet to make its move. This group is the Hexenzirkel. Who exactly are they and what role will they play in the story moving forward? Before we get into that, if you want to see more Genshin Impact content, do consider subscribing to the channel. The Hexenzirkel is a group of witches that consists of an unknown number of members who span the entirety of Tevat. The term witch itself is a rather loose term within Genshin Impact, and it seems to encompass those who would study the magics and elemental power of Tevat, but there really isn't any concrete definition for them. The concept of magic within Tevat is also rather nebulous. While most special abilities tend to be attributed to elemental power, there is a small subset of people who have showcased abilities that infringe on the supernatural or occult. One such example is Yaimiko, the head priestess of Inazuma's Narukami Shrine. Yaimiko is a vision wielder. However, during certain occasions, we have seen her use incantations and spells to achieve various effects. These spells are largely not connected to her vision as far as we know, and is likely a different form of power altogether. So while it's not entirely clear what magic exactly is in Tevat, there does exist some precedent that suggests it's a real thing, and not a misunderstood form of elemental manipulation. Because of this, it makes it difficult to define what witches even are, and what type of people would be categorized as one. For example, while Lisa is known as the Witch of the Purple Rose, she gained notoriety during her time in the academia, where she studied under the Spantamat school that focused on elementalism and alchemy. This makes any sort of identifying feature of the Hexenzirkel even more unclear, as discerning any common pattern among its members is difficult. In any case, the Hexenzirkel has been mentioned to be made up of witches, and of the ones we know, they are rather influential people within Tevat itself. While we don't know the full roster of members, we do know that its members are separated into two ranks, the Elders and the Ordinary members. The most prominent and only Elder we know of is Klee's mother Alice. Despite not appearing herself in the story, Alice is a rather well-known adventurer, being the author of the Tevat Travel Guide. She has also been shown to wield tremendous power and is extremely knowledgeable in multiple fields of study from elementalism, alchemy to even presumably magic. One example of her achievement was the ability to not only rediscover the Golden Apple Archipelago, but to lift the entire group of islands from the ocean floor just so her daughter Klee can have a beach party. Albedo has even gone on to say that Alice is a near omnipotent sorceress, making her likely one of the most powerful people in Tevat. Aside from Alice, Mona and her master are also said to be members of the Hexenzirkel. Both Mona and her master are considered the foremost experts within the field of astrology, able to discern the fates of others with almost near perfect accuracy. Consider Mona's achievements up till this point. She was able to discern the fates of many citizens in Mondstadt, to the point that even Venti actively stopped her from seeing his own fate, as well as immediately tell Scaramouche's intentions mere seconds after meeting him. Now, given these achievements, think about how much more potent the skills of her master would be, as even Mona has claimed that her abilities pale in comparison to those of her master. Suffice to say, even though we know of only 3 members in the Hexenzirkel so far, their achievements and power seems to stand far above those of even average vision wielders, indicating the organization is likely a very prominent one. There are also those, however, who are referred to as witches but do not have any association with this particular organization. Lisa, who as I've mentioned earlier, is one such example, as while she seems to be aware of the Hexenzirkel, she has claimed she has no interest in their activities and does not join them, indicating she might have been invited sometime in the past. Another person is La Signora, who is known as the Crimson Witch of the Flame. And because she despised being even referred to as a witch, it's unlikely that she would be a member either. Alice also seems to be acquainted with the alchemist Gold and appears to be on friendly terms with her, as she was willing to take in Albedo at Gold's request, despite Gold largely having a huge role during the events of the Cataclysm. Because of this, it's unlikely that the organization is one that is outwardly oppressive, as the members don't yet seem to be antagonists and allow anyone to join and even decline their invitation without much repercussion. Given their rather prominent membership, however, what exactly is this group for? Now, just by observing 3 of their members, it's pretty clear that the Hexenzirkel aren't just some pushover club established to have tea parties, although they are known to have those as well. To be honest, their motives in forming such a group is not yet known at this point. The only thing we know for sure is that the members of the Hexenzirkel often carry out expeditions into the Irminsul for the purpose of exploration. We hear this from Lisa herself, and the rather casual demeanor in which she mentions it makes me think that it's not a closely guarded secret. In any case, what they are looking for has yet to be revealed, but given that the Irminsul is said to contain the memories of practically everyone and large amounts of information, and may even reach into the abyss itself, it's likely safe to assume that they're looking for information. So the first idea that comes to mind is that they are likely an organization that was established to pursue, grow, and share knowledge. Perhaps they are the supernatural equivalent of the Sumeru Academia, where the Academia deals with the factual and scientific, the Hexenzirkel deals with the occult and magical. Expeditions into the Irminsul could just be a means to collect information about their specific area of study, and their goal is nothing more than to expand their horizon of knowledge. An alternative theory is that perhaps they are record keepers. Recently, we have learned that the Irminsul can and has been in the past used to alter the knowledge or history of the world. Perhaps the Hexenzirkel see themselves as guardians of the true knowledge and are carrying out expeditions to properly catalog the truth of the world for safekeeping. Given their rather skilled roster of members, it won't be much of a surprise if they knew the actual truth of the world. In fact, in the KFC glider law, which I can't believe I'm referencing, Alice has mentioned that the barrier between Tevat and other realities have become weaker and that she must now go to work, whatever that refers to. This might indicate that she is aware of the true nature of the world, and the Hexenzirkel may be involved in this one way or another. At this current point, it is doubtful that they have any evil motives, as they seem to be a group largely focused on the collection and preservation of knowledge, but it's really difficult to say definitively. As they are the only faction who is currently known to traverse through the Irminsul, it's likely that we will run into them in the future. Perhaps they might act as allies or advisors to the traveler with their vast knowledge of Tevat. Maybe once Alice becomes summonable, more about their story will be told. But that does it for this video. If you enjoyed it, do consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. As usual, have a nice day.